The Last Wish, Andrzej Spakowski's first collection of short stories, detailing the very first adventures of the Witcher Geralt of Rivia. Beginning with The Voice of Reason, the overarching tale that segues into each short story. Geralt is taking refuge at the Temple School of Melitelli. Recovering from recent wounds, he's counseled by the temple's mother figure, Nanek, and imparts to her stories of his most recent adventures. Foltest, the king of Temeria, needs Geralt's help. His 7-year-dead incest baby has risen from the grave as a monster, and how's that for a hook? Foltest's daughter, Ada, died during birth alongside her mother of the same name, Foltest's sister, but had been cursed by Ostrit, a jealous romantic rival. 7 years after this tragedy, Ada awoke as a Striga, a monster active during the night, but if prevented from returning to its coffin by daybreak, the curse will be broke. Using Ostrit as live bait, Geralt accomplishes just that. After a struggle with Ada, he hides in her coffin, forcing her outside. The morning after, Geralt finds Ada back in the form of a young girl, but approaches her just too soon, and she turns and slashes his throat, leaving him with the wounds that most likely brought him to the Temple of Mattel. Ada leaves the ordeal unhurt, but is afflicted with pale white hair and mental retardation, until the games retcon her into a smoking hot redhead. Geralt meets the monster man Nivellen in a mansion in the middle of the woods, trying to recreate Beauty and the Beast. He claims that his affliction seems to be something from a fairy tale, so why wouldn't a fantastical remedy work? There must be some grain of truth in all of these stories. After having dinner together, Geralt leaves Nivellen, but not without growing a little suspicious of him. Camping out nearby in the woods, he returns the next day, only to find out that Beastman was holding out on his resident Bruxa girlfriend. With a small distraction from Nivellen, Geralt manages to put her down, but right before she dies, she shows true love for Nivellen and releases him from his curse, allowing him to go on living his life. Geralt bags a Kickmore and rolls into Blaviken looking to get paid. But when nobody in town wants to pay up, they direct him to the tower of the town's mage, Irion. Upon arriving, he's shown an illusion of paradise and greeted not by Irion, but another mage he's met before, named Stregbor, who's borrowing both Irion's home and identity. Stregbor has a proposition for Geralt. He may have kinda started a witch hunt back in the day, and now he needs Geralt to kill one of his victims seeking retribution, insisting that his Curse of the Black Sun is actually real. Geralt laughs at the nerd, telling him to stuff it, and heads back to town. Returning to the tavern, Geralt meets Stregbor's hunter herself, Renfri, and her band of degenerates. She asks Geralt to help them kill the mage, explaining that even the king himself has their back. Geralt tries to talk her down, and believes that he has as they settle in for a night together.
Let's get it on.
But the next morning, having breakfast, Geralt realizes that he hadn't dissuaded Renfri, but in fact she had planned to force Stregbor from his tower by slaughtering the townspeople, making him fulfill the obligation of a mage to protect the city. Reacting preemptively, Geralt attacks Renfri's men while she's still gone, preventing their slaughter by causing one of his own. On her return, Renfri informs Geralt that Stregbor hadn't planned to aid the town even if she should attack, making his massacre pointless. Renfri then attacks and is killed by Geralt. Stregbor arrives willing to perform an autopsy to explain the Witcher's actions, but disgusted, Geralt refuses he be allowed to touch her. Geralt then leaves, exiled, earning the title the Butcher of Blaviken. Invited to the coming-of-age ceremony of Princess Pavetta under the alias Ravix, Geralt has been hired by the Queen of Sintra, Calanth, to act as an enforcer for her political agendas. While trying to explain to the queen that she doesn't really understand what a witcher is, a knight barges in, claiming to be Urchin of Erlenwald, demanding by the law of surprise,
"Surprise, motherfucker!"
owed to him by her late father, he be given Pavetta's hand in marriage. Outraged, Calanth demands he remove his helmet, revealing he has a nasty-ass hedgehog head. Shocked, Calanth reveals that what he said is true, but Pavetta must agree to the arrangement for it to go through. And to everyone's surprise, she's totally down. This leads Calanth to do the logical thing and completely flips her shit, ordering everybody to attack Urchin. Pavetta, however, had been gathering magical energy the entire time and releases it in a massive counter shit flip, sending the room into a chaos of fighting and flying furniture. In the shuffle, Geralt and the super chill druid Musak moved to protect Urchin. Just as everything was going to hell, the hero of the night emerges, a man by the name of Ellenbert. His claim to fame? Making annoying animal sounds. Ellenbert unleashes his magnum opus, a cacophony so ridiculous, the berserking magical princess has to take a second to figure out what this guy's doing. This opening allows Geralt and the Mooster to take control of the situation. Urchin now gives his true name to be Dunny, and stands with Pavetta, explaining that they had been together for months. The queen calms down and accepts the couple, almost giving up on politics, until she's proposed to herself by the uncle of Pavetta's suitor. Dunny, indebted to Geralt, offers him whatever he wants, but he messed up. Geralt decides to show him how it's done, throwing the law of surprise back at him.
"Surprise, motherfucker!"
Using his Witcher pregnancy detecting powers, he claims the couple's unborn child to take and raise as a Witcher, tying himself to it by destiny. Looking for work in the middle of nowhere, Geralt is for the first time accompanied by the silver-tongued ladies' man Dandelion, famed traveling bard who would become Geralt's closest friend and frequent traveling companion. The duo are told of a devil causing trouble for the locals. Investigating the rumors, they find a Sylvan, who while attempting to play with them, leads them into an ambush by local Scoia'tael, anti-human freedom fighters predominantly made up of elves. The two manage to escape, but are chased down. They're saved by the intervention of the Sylvan, whose name is revealed as Torque and a spirit of nature, dissuading the pursuers. Torque explains he had only stole from the humans to keep the Scoia'tael from attacking them, and decides he will move on from the area, traveling with Geralt. This story sucks.
Wait, that was it?
Yeah, that's all that. That's it.
That's the whole story?
I mean, like, I abbreviated. That's all the important parts. That's
Fuck.
Fishing for breakfast, Dandelion and Geralt hook an old sealed vase. Despite Geralt's objection, Dandelion proceeds to open the vase, expecting a genie to pop out and grant his wishes. While a genie does pop out, instead of granting his wishes, he starts choking the shit out of Dandelion. Geralt attacks the genie with no effect, and in desperation grabs the seal that fell from the vase and shouts an exorcism that shouldn't have worked but magically does. Even with the genie gone, Dandelion's in a sad state and needs a mage's healing. With little options before him, Geralt goes to the only person he can, Yennefer of Vengerberg, a sorceress renowned as untrustworthy and self-important as she is powerful. She helps Dandelion, but as payment casts a spell on Geralt, having him run around town harassing, even bending over and spanking anyone to even insult Yennefer before.
Do you want to do this marriage thing with me?
Isn't that sweet? Oh, my love, the answer is yes.
Boom!
Congratulations.
Only finally coming to his senses in the town's dungeon. During Geralt's trial, the now healed Dandelion comes through a portal on Yennefer's behalf, explaining Geralt's innocence. During this testimony, however, a commotion from outside gathers everyone's attention. Yennefer had lured the genie from earlier to town, and was attempting to take its power for her own. Geralt takes the opportunity to guide everybody through Dandelion's portal to safety, but he himself goes to help Yennefer. Wanting none of his help, the two struggle with one another, Yennefer even opening a new portal, and the two thrashing back and forth through it, until eventually she uses a spell to paralyze Geralt. In this pacified state, Geralt has a revelation and realizes that he's the one who owns the genie, as he was the one holding the seal when he gave it a command. Geralt makes his last wish, left ambiguous to the reader, but casting away the genie and leaving Yennefer infatuated with him. She says a bunch of words to him, but then they fuck, so Geralt forgives her. But Jackie was naive to think he could escape the dick. And sick of his Disneyland nightmare bullshit, Geralt unleashes a hot load of justice upon the Grand Master.